Hello, it's Grammy. Just wanted to pop in here and say hello to everyone, share a few of my thoughts, just talk a little bit. And while I was getting the camera set up, I was thinking about people being out of touch. And with the rest of the country, or the world, or anything, or even neighbors, or just being out of touch, being so remote, and keeping themselves away from everyone, just minding their business in their own yards. And maybe I'm speaking to the people my age that just kind of fell out of touch. There's a lot of us. There's a lot of people that have stayed in touch, and I always tried all through my life, and I'm not liking this video right now, so I feel like turning it off, but I guess I'll just go ahead with what I'm trying to say. I have said to y'all that I have lived other places. I lived in near Huntsville, Alabama. I lived in Lawrenceville, Georgia. I lived in Gastonia, North Carolina, which was just like 25 minutes from Charlotte, North Carolina. I lived in California for a short period of time. So back before I was even married, after I graduated high school, I was able to go on a European trip for about 2 months. It was called People to People, where we stayed with families, and we stayed in schools, and traveled to 7 different countries. And so I've even been overseas. Being from this area I was from, Dad took me to the airport in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I got on a plane there by myself and went on down to Raleigh, North Carolina, from Knoxville, Tennessee to Raleigh, North Carolina, where I met the delegation of other young people like myself from North Carolina that were going to take the trip. And then we went on to New York City, where we met up with other delegations from other states. And we were divided into 2 groups of all these young people. And we got on a 747 Lufthansa airplane and went overseas. Went over to Europe. And I was 17 years old. Didn't know anybody before I went on this trip. And that's the kind of person I was. I didn't meet strangers. I wasn't fearful of people that were different than me. And the reason I was able to go on this trip, of course, my daddy helped me go, but I had been active in 4-H work for years, because my mother was a 4-H leader, and we went to all kinds of functions with the 4-H club. And so you had to have that experience to be able to go too. And I've been active in the 4-H club. I did many projects. I've even got a few of them still in a chest out in my shed. I used to go to 4-H camp every summer. I think I went 4 years. And I used to go to 4-H Congress that would be on North Carolina State University. And we'd stay a week there and have classes and free time and stay in the dorms and meet all kinds of young people my age. Enjoyed that time of my life. Of course, I grumbled sometime when Mama would say, you need to work on your projects, or have you when I'd be bored at home, nothing to do around here, we'll work on your 4-H projects or, you know, things like that. So anyway, she tried to keep me busy and active. I played basketball for 4 years, and I played 2 years when I was in middle school. In school, because that's all we had was basketball. We didn't have any other extra things to do at school other than basketball. By the time I got in high school, I think we had typing 1 or 2 years, and then they couldn't afford to have a typing class anymore. And it wasn't until I was in my senior year that they bought or built an extra building on our little school campus, electronics building, for, I guess, the guys to be able to take electronics. But the school closed a few years after I graduated, so that building, the gymnasium, the high school, was left empty. And since the school closed, because it was consolidated here to Robbinsville with another little small school, Stecoa. So the two little small schools were consolidated to Robbinsville School. So after the school in Stecoa, excuse me, the school in Stecoa has been made into like a crafty arts place. I'm not really sure. I mean, they do, like I say, crafts, arts, and they have music, mostly like bluegrass, country, gospel, that kind of stuff. And they have different classes where you can learn to do crafty things at Stecoa School. Well, my school, which was Mountain View, they, I think first, I'm not real sure because I didn't live around here a lot of the years, and but I think first of all the building was used, they housed some like exotic animals or something, and I don't know what happened with that. That was there for a few years, and then the only other thing I know, which it is now, is like a campground area. All that's left of the actual school building is the lunchroom area. The electronics building is still there, and I believe that's been made into I really don't know, like a community area, and maybe the caregivers live there, and then the gymnasium is still there. I don't know if they use it for anything. The last I heard, it was in bad shape, but maybe somebody has kept it up. I don't know. Hadn't been down there in a while. But Stecoa School was made out of natural rock from this area, and Stecoa School is on a road where there's, it's easy to get to. People go by there, tourists, and everybody use that road to go into Bryson City, North Carolina. So Stecoa is in a place where people can get to it and get out of there very easy. Now, Mountain View School, where I went to school, was very remote back in the mountains. So it wasn't a place that people would go to, for anything, or see even, unless you knew where it was, or even knew it was there. So even though it was a newer school than Stecoa was, our school kind of fell out, where Stecoa School has been kept up in the grounds, and they built things around there, and it's really nice. But Mountain View School, I haven't been up in there in a while, but the last I know, it's like a campground area.